And joining us right now, Lanny Davis, friend of our program, lawyer about town, and most recently, the chief defender of Hillary Clinton in the media. Glad to have you, Lanny Davis. Do you like that? Are you an official defender of Hillary Clinton now, Lanny Davis? Is that a job?
First of all, I'd like to say that it's great to be on with my two favorite liberal Democrats.
Yeah. Right. Boy, there's a judgment error.
I've missed you both. And secondly, I am unofficial. I'm a friend of Hillary Clinton.
All right.
Since the days that her last name was Rodham, so I won't accept any job, any money, except the title friend of.
Good to know. Wanted to have that on the record. All right. So much has come out since the last time that we spoke. Let's talk about the dealings with the Clinton Foundation first, Lanny.
Sure.
It's now been discovered that there were a whole lot of donations that were not disclosed as had been approved or agreed upon. As you know, when Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was going through the nomination process and the approval process, there was a memorandum of understanding and agreement between the Clinton Foundation and the Obama administration about disclosures of all of those donations from foreign entities. Every donation was supposed to be disclosed. So I guess the question is, why didn't Mrs. Clinton, as Secretary of State, insist and maintain that agreement? Why was that agreement that she entered into ignored in so many ways? And why didn't she insist that the Clinton Foundation adhere to that agreement?
Well, in so many ways is not exactly a fact. Let's make it factual rather than descriptive. Out of all of the money raised during her 4 years, and that was a considerable amount of money by the Clinton Foundation, they adhered to every rule of disclosure except in a few instances. And in those few instances, they recognized that it was an inadvertent, for example.
It's 1,100. Wait. You said factual. Bloomberg News reported April 29th, 1,100 foreign donations. Is that a few? I mean, how many donations were there?
That's actually not accurate because it's out of context. Those 1,100 were contributed to a foundation established in Canada, and that foundation did not disclose the donors that it contributed, and the foundation itself then contributed to the Clinton Foundation. So it's not exactly accurate.
Well, isn't that foundation in Canada named after Hillary Clinton? It's the Clinton Giustra Enterprise Partnership.
Actually, it was founded by Mr. Giustra as a separate foundation, which was a joint enterprise with the Clinton Global Initiative.
Well, that's pretty
convenient. Want to get into this? That was an 1,100 contributions to the foundation. One mistake was a $500,000 contribution from Algeria that went directly to Haiti to help the hurricane victims, and they admitted that one was an inadvertent mistake. Out of over $1 billion raised, there were several inadvertent mistakes.
But the 1,100 wasn't inadvertent?
The 1,100 was not contributed to the Clinton Foundation.
So do you think that the memorandum of understanding...
Foundation, that was a joint enterprise with the Clinton Global Initiative.
So do you think that... Well, hold on, Lanny. Hold on. I'm looking at the actual document, the actual memorandum of understanding about disclosures, and it includes the Clinton Global Initiative. So are you saying because it's a joint venture, then that's free of the memorandum of understanding?
Let me try one more time because I know we're talking about really important issues like ISIS and the economy and all the other.
Oh, don't do that, Lanny. No. Oh, please. We wouldn't have you on if you want to talk about ISIS. We'll have another guest on. You're here to talk about Hillary. Let's focus on Hillary.
I've been on your program. I'm allowed to say that. I don't think this is as important as some other issues, but I'll answer your question. 1,100 donations went to the Giustra Canada Foundation. That was a joint enterprise with the Clinton Global Initiative, and that's part of the Clinton Foundation. That was not disclosed because Mr. Giustra did not think he needed to disclose it under Canadian law.
Yeah.
I wish he had, but it was not an intentional.
Let's
just at least establish the fact that the Clinton
Brian's going to jump in here for a minute, but you've done a great job diverting from the ultimate question. The ultimate question that I asked you, which you haven't answered, is why didn't she insist on this? Why didn't she insist that they did this?
I disagree with you respectfully. I did answer. They disclosed everything that they were aware of and made a few inadvertent mistakes, and that's how you're spending most of your time on this great program. I really don't.
Yeah, I think whether she lied or not in the memorandum of understanding to get the job in the first place is an important issue.
I think we're repeating ourselves, and we have a respectful disagreement here.
All right, well, let me see if we can find something we can disagree upon. Remember this?
It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. But there's a phone in the White House, and it's ringing. Something's happening in the world.
All right. I mean, we remember this was the famous 3 a.m. ad. If Hillary is the president, you want her
Very
there.
Effective ad.
You want that ad. You want her there because she'll answer the phone at 3 a.m.
I agreed with her.
And the first round of emails, and remember, this is a very small sliver of emails that weren't deleted by Hillary off her private server, that were handed to the State Department and now being made public, comes word that, just a few days after Benghazi, she is asked to have a briefing, 9:17 a.m. She gets an email from an aide saying, "Would you please take this briefing from your presidential briefer? He's got some documents he needs to show you." And apparently the guy named Dan showed up at her house. She didn't answer. She woke up at 10:43, said, "Hey, I just woke up. I guess I missed Dan. Can you have him come back later?" So, on one hand, you've got Hillary claiming that she'll be there to answer the phone call, but just days after Benghazi, she sleeps until nearly 11 o'clock in the morning and misses the presidential daily briefing.
I have respect for you guys. I think you are serious people, but when you ask a question like that, I have to think it's a Saturday Night Live satire. Do you know whether she was sick that morning? Do you know whether she was up till 5 in the morning and slept?
Do you?
Any idea why she woke
Do you know?
up in the morning? And most important, may I ask you, please, why are you asking me this question? Is that a serious question, or is this...
It's an absolute serious question when you have someone who claims, who's running for president, and who has claimed in the past that I'm going to be there when at 3 a.m. in the morning when the phone rings to take the call, and we see an evidence just days after Benghazi where she didn't even get up in time for her presidential briefing. It raises questions about, how seriously were they taking Benghazi at that time?
It raises questions in your mind, and I respect that. I'm sorry that that's what you're focused on rather than asking, why did she sleep late? Was she not feeling well? Was she up till 5 in the morning as she had been the night of Benghazi? This is not the question I would expect really from you, but you're entitled. I respect you for asking me questions that I personally believe are really trivial.
So you have an explanation? Do you know why she wasn't there?
I have no idea, other than I know that there's nobody, even on the Republican side, running against her. The one thing they all agree on is that Hillary Clinton is one of the hardest working people ever in public life. She is a compulsive worker late at night, early in the morning, and for you to spend more than 5 seconds on this phone call suggesting that she slept late and she's not a hard worker is a Saturday Night Live satire.
Well, we're not suggesting that. We're just telling you what the email said. She did sleep
I
in
gave
late.
you my answer.
All right.
I don't know the answer. She may have been sick. She may have been up till 5 in the morning. You don't know the answer.
So I told you. I actually predicted this.
Which I would respectfully suggest is not a serious.
I actually predicted this. I said Lanny would say she was up. She was waiting for the call at 3 a.m.
I said I don't
not
know.
Not at 10:30.
All right. Said, but you don't know either.
That's true. That's why we were asking you. All right. Listen, you wanted to talk about ISIS instead of talking about Hillary. So does Hillary actually have a plan against ISIS? Do you know? Because I haven't seen it anywhere.
Well, she has spoken in many ways and many times, just as Republicans and just as the administration has, which is use air power, not use boots on the ground. But everyone is worried. I am worried. And I think there has to be some real recognition that we may have to go to our allies and find other ways of defeating this monster.
All right.
I think this monster is threatening our homeland.
All right, Lanny, thank you for joining us. It sounds like the current strategy against ISIS, so I guess Hillary's plan is stay the course. So we've got stay the course.